Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the S.H.Figuarts Naruto Uzumaki Battle Scarred Edition. Now this is a Tamashii Nations store exclusive figure, so you can pick it up at the Tamashii Nations store for a limited time, the one that they permanently have in Japan, or the ones that they do pop up around the globe. I'm in Australia, so we don't have anything like that, so I had to buy this second hand. It was a brand new unopened package, but I had to buy it off another seller. Now this, much like the Dragon Ball Goku Innocent Challenger that came out last year, is a repaint and slight retool of a pre-existing figure. So this is a repaint of the Naruto Uzumaki Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope, which was pretty much the Naruto 3.0 sort of figure. And it was an incredible figure and pretty much a sign of things to come for the Naruto line, because since then the Naruto Figuarts line has been pretty much perfect. And everything else coming up, even the other repaints and retools for the top 99, still look really, really, really good. So far it looks like a line that can do no wrong, and even just a simple repaint or retool of a pre-existing figure is pretty much guaranteed to be a good figure in and of itself. Now this is a battle scarred edition. It's meant to be him sort of battle damaged and worn after fighting, and it's sort of debatable, and you'll see that as I open up the box. So taken out of the box, you can see what we get. In comparison to the Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope, we are missing a couple accessories, so Naruto no longer has the folded arms or neutral face. However, he does come with a new Rasengan effect as well as a new left hand for holding a Rasengan or effect piece, which was mysteriously missing from the original release, and that was technically fine because he mostly uses Rasengans with his right hand, but in case you wanted to change it up a bit, it was a bit of a shame that you didn't have that option. But otherwise the loadout is pretty much the same, except in this one you can see we get a giant Rasengan. And that's realistically the only reason why I picked this up. I thought it was cool that we had a brand new accessory, and I wanted to play around with it. So taken out of the box and put on a display, here is the battle scarred Naruto. And it's debatable if he's actually battle scarred. It looks more like he's just had a big wash of weathering and dirt put on him. Even his faces are a little bit scuffed up. But I wouldn't really call this battle scarred. Like, battle scarred is what I assume when I see some of the more recent Dragon Ball figures, like the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, where he had scars all over his body, torn clothes, the repaints of the Super Saiyan Goku that came out as an event exclusive last year, as well as the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan that came out as an event exclusive, where they've detailed in scars and torn clothes and everything like that, where they look like they've been through a battle. This looks like Naruto's rolled around in the dirt for a little bit. And, like, it's fine, but I wouldn't call it battle scarred. Like, battle scarred to me for Naruto would have been the jacket is torn off and you can see that sort of like mesh undershirt that he usually has, or his pants are a bit torn up, sort of like his look during the Great War. And I think that would have been much cooler. Or even just the jacket open and sort of like flowing a little bit. I think that would have been nice too. But it is what it is. It's just slightly dirty Naruto with some better tidied up faces, because I think the application of the prints just seemed just a touch better on this compared to the original release. Speaking of the original release, here is Naruto up against the Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope, so you can see the massive colour difference that these two figures have, as well as the significance of the new shading and wash on the Battle Scarred edition. And they look pretty good together, but you can definitely tell that it's just the exact same figure with just a bit of a wash over it. Again, that's fine because a lot of the exclusive figures and Tamashii Nation store exclusive figures are typically repaints, and that's perfectly fine. I think the problem is literally the naming of the figure. There's more expectations involved when you call it like battle scarred. But overall, still perfectly fine. So moving right along to articulation, it is the same as the Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope, so we've got a ball joint at the head and neck. He can look down that far and up that far, and the ends of the headband can move up and down, just like the original release. The arms can move out and rotate all the way around. There is an upper arm swivel as well as an elbow bend, and a ball hinge at the wrist. His arms can butterfly in that far, which is good. And he's got a ball joint at the upper chest, which allows for some really, really, really good movement. It does break the sculpt a little bit depending on what you're doing, but it's fine. There's a floating piece at the bottom of his jacket, as well as a ball joint at his little like pocket for his ninja tools. He can kick forward that far and back that far. There's a bend at the knee. He can do the splits. There's a thigh swivel, as well as a pivot at the ankle, as well as a hinge at the toes. So the same as the Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope. Again, just a really fantastic figure. The articulation is fantastic. It's simple, but it's good. And it's, again, one of those Figuarts that you feel very confident in moving around. You can pretty much tell what you can get out of this figure the second you hold it. Just really nice and solid. No joints feel particularly loose. Everything feels good, and he can hold a pose without any issue. Now, in terms of accessories, he comes with 4 faces. So he's got the smiling face that he comes out of the box with. It's got a shouting face, a teeth-gritted, tailed activated face, as well as a comedic yelling face. The original Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope came with a neutral face as well, and that's missing here, but that is also perfectly fine. And with those accessories, you can get a good amount out of this figure. Most of it comes down to the actual effect pieces or ninja tools, like the kunai or Rasengan. And the Rasengan has actually been repainted again for this figure, and it has a sort of more metallic, pearlescent sort of feel to it, which I actually don't mind too much. And compared with the original release still looks really good, but I think this sort of pearlescent look would be nice with the white effect of the original release. But both look good. The pearlescent lets you see sort of the curls and sculpt of the Rasengan a bit better, which I think is good. And again, now that we've got the left hand that can hold effect parts, you can put the Rasengan in his left hand and pose him around with that. You could even put both Rasengans from both figures and let him do double Rasengan. So it's a nice little option to have. And then the other main event is the giant Rasengan, which you can see is a combination of all these different swirls and beautiful sculpting, and just looks magnificent. It's so cool to have. I tried my best to get cool looking action poses with it, and I had a little bit of trouble getting dynamic poses in a bit of a hurry with this figure because I wanted to pump out this review a little bit quickly, but I think I did okay. But it does look really nice. I am very appreciative of this effect part. And having 2 Narutos, even though one is a completely different paint style, you can sort of mimic it as doing shadow clones and doing multiple Rasengans and things like that. I do quite like that. I'm looking forward to getting the top 99 figure so I can replicate stuff like that as well. And it's just a really solid release. If you don't have the Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope, this is pretty good. If you do, it's a bit of a harder sell because you're basically buying it for just one new accessory, and the paint is fine. It's just that, like, I think the anime colors are a bit better. I think the top 99 figure looks way better in terms of color and accuracy as well, and his faces look fantastic. So that might be another good release to keep your eye on. But if you don't mind having another Naruto and one that looks slightly different to one that you already have, this is definitely a good choice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time.